Well, it's a beautiful day as always. And you know why it's beautiful? Because we are here. Nothing else on this planet can understand what beauty is, but we can. So, what do I want to talk about today? Well, today I want to talk about belief. You see, you've been conditioned to believe everything your mind says. I know that sounds strange, and it is strange, but that's just the way our minds work. So if your mind says Trump is good, even though we know, everybody knows, he's bad, or Trump is for the good guys, he's for the bad guys, right? I mean, everybody knows that by now. But your mind is going to say what it's going to say, and you're going to believe every word of it. Until we can break that belief, you can't wake up. Now, how do we break that belief? Well, recognizing who you are is a good start. But the other thing we have to break is the conditioning that you've been raised under, okay? The conditioning that conditioned you to believe that everything you thought was true, you know, when it wasn't. On top of your programming, which made you believe that you're somebody, okay, or nobody, depending on what your programming was or who your parents are, is this conditioning that makes you believe every word you think is true. Okay? Like, for instance, you're no good. You're a piece of shit. Excuse my language. And you believe it. You buy it, hook, line, and sinker. Okay? And that is why you can't wake up. Because you know what? Your mind is full of shit. And it wants to control you. And the way it controls you is by making you believe it's shit. Now, a lot of people call this part of the mind the ego. I call it false identity. It doesn't matter what we call it because the point is you have to let it go. You have to let it go. You are not infallible. I am not infallible. No one's infallible. Okay? We can be wrong. It's just been proven on numerous occasions. And so that's what has to happen. Okay? If we all believed what we thought, okay, this world would be in a sheer horrible mess that it's in. Okay? So, how? How do we stop believing in our own thoughts? By recognizing that those thoughts are not coming from us. The thoughts are coming from the fake identity, the ego that's in your head. Okay? And the only way to shed yourself of these thoughts is to accept that you are not you. You're not a somebody. You're not a traffic cop. You're not a doctor. You're not a Hollywood star. Maybe you are, but that's not who you are. Okay? And until you recognize that fact, you're not going anywhere. You're not going to accept or see freedom. So, why do we believe that everything we think is true? Well, for one thing, our parents did. Okay? I mean, that's just the way it is. Our parents and their parents, they all believed everything they said was true or thought. And it's been a long line of just total not really understanding what was going on. Okay? So, you're wrong. All your thoughts are wrong. Okay? That's the way it is. Now, when it comes to religion, okay, or nationalities, or even, sports teams, that is so ingrained in you that you can't see it. I don't know the best way of telling you how to do this. I'm just one guy, and maybe I'm wrong. Okay? But so are you. And you need to accept that. And you need to accept that you are wrong. Okay? In a very big way. Because otherwise, you're trapped. You are a soul. Okay? You're a piece of God. Okay? That's what a soul is. I don't really believe in a God in the sense of a all-powerful being with a white beard and all that, but I do believe in the source. And a piece of the source broke off to become you. Only the problem is that we all think we're somebody else. Look, the fact is, no one's ever going to convince you that you're wrong, okay? Because for so many years, not depending on how old you are, you believed in your own rightness, okay? And I'm not talking about what you think about things. I'm talking about deep down in your gut, okay? And unless you accept that you're wrong about yourself, you can't get out. You can't get out of this trap that you've been put in by well-meaning people. Okay, I'm not saying they weren't well-meaning. They thought they were doing the right thing because they had the same thing done to them. Okay, and I'm as guilty as anyone about that. My kid, I did things which I thought were right, but they weren't. So, break out of that. Just break out of it. Break out of the conditioning that you have been put under by everyone. Okay? You don't need to feel bad about being wrong. Okay? About everything. You don't need to feel bad. What you need to do is accept what's right. I mean, the problem with humans is that we try to be the best. Okay, and that generally winds up screwing us in the end. Because we can't be the best because we're flawed. And that is the nature of humanity. So break out of your conditioning, okay? And realize that the things you're thinking aren't you. You believe that you're somebody, okay? You believe it, okay? But you're not, okay? You've been sent to somebody's school, and that was a big trap, and you fell into it. Just like everybody else on Earth. Except maybe the Buddhists. But it's not you. I know that this These concepts are hard to wrap your mind around. And I don't expect you to do it right away. But when you go through your life, and you will go through your life because that's what we do, you're going to see things and feel things, and you're going to realize, hey, why am I thinking this? Why am I saying this? Why am I clinging to something that's not real? And the reason is because someone made you think those things, and you bought it. Now I can just leave it there, okay? And maybe I should just leave it there. But it just kills me that people are trapped. So, today, tomorrow, the next day, when you're living your life, you're going to see something, you're going to hear something, you're going to feel something. Okay? And you're going to realize that it's wrong, it's a lie. When that happens, try to remember what I'm saying. All right. Well, I love you all because you're me. And the reason I say that is because we are all one. There's no me, this guy, and there's no you. There's just the one source, okay, of everything in this universe. And that is what you are. And I really want you to be that instead of being some little dude in a truck driving down a highway, being miserable, or whatever it is that you've been doing. It's been real.